Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel if you are a returning viewer. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a new viewer, hello, my name is Gemma and I make bookish kind of videos. And today we have a very special video because we have my September TBR game. You are going to join me in choosing the books that are going to be on my TBR list for this September. Let's go! The first video I ever uploaded on this channel was a TBR game video as well, and it was actually me doing my brother Nate's game. So Nate has a YouTube channel and is kind of who inspired me to do my YouTube channel as well, and I played his game in the first ever video. And whilst I enjoyed playing that game, I didn't really feel like it was, you know, it didn't align with my reading style or the kind of things that I read, and obviously because it's not tailored to me. So I kind of, I wanted to play around and do a little different game to that. I don't know if this is going to be the perfect way either. It's something I've tried to just tailor a little bit more to things that I would like to read, and obviously things that are on my own TBR. But yeah, I thought it'd be something to give a go. So what we're going to do in today's video is I have made some different spinner wheels and they are going to pick my books. I have got my iPad handy and we're going to spin some different wheels. So randomly, well, not randomly generated, I've made the spinner wheels, but they're going to randomly choose out of the options I've given different things. It sounds kind of really vague now I'm saying it, but I think as we go along, it will obviously, I mean, it will probably become very clear, but I'm going to start the game basically by picking how many books I'm going to read this month. So I have created a spinner wheel that is between 4 to 8 books. So the most I've ever read in a month so far this year is 7. That one did include 3 manga. So, you know, that's potentially not a complete reflection of books. I think the most books was 6. So 8 is more than I've ever read in a month before, but I don't think it's too far of a stretch that it would be impossible. And I think 4 is a good baseline for what I would like to minimum be aiming for. So that is going to be the first spinner wheel we do now, and that's to see how many books I'm going to be reading, or I'm going to aim to read in the month of September. Let's spin the first wheel. Okay, 7. Ooh, that is quite high. Obviously I know I put it there, so it's fine. So 7 books. Okay, that's a good number. You know, that's a lot. And I've had a couple of really low reading months, like August and July were not big reading months for me at all. But I feel like I'm in a good place. I'm determined that it could happen. So 7, cool. So I have actually done and made 8 categories for different wheels that now could be chosen. So any of these 8 could be picked, and obviously I would do 1 per book. So let's have a quick look at what the 8 are that we could now land on, and then I would choose a book based on them 8. So basically I'm going to do the 8, which will pick a category, and then that category has its own wheel, and from that I'll choose a book, which hopefully makes sense. So the 8 wheels I've got are a trope wheel, so I'll list some of the tropes that I have. A wheel that's called case. What I basically mean is like the bookcases. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 bookcases. Like some are smaller than others, but basically I've got them in numbered, and it's like I will pick one randomly from one of them bookshelves. So I should have wrote bookcase, but I wrote case. Then we have colour, so it will just be a random colour of like basically the cover. Nate picks, so I will get Nate to pick a handful of books and then he'll have a wheel with them books on it. Seasons, so we'll have some season reads, so obviously one for each season, and then I'd have to find something in that season to read, which is quite a nice one I think to have while we're transitioning between the summer and the autumn season. Page count, so that will basically a book based on the certain page count. Untouched genres, so that will be kind of genres that I don't tend to lean towards, and maybe I've got a few books for them, but it's not something I've picked up much or really at all this year, so that could be an interesting one. And then the last one is country, and that is going to be the country of the author, of like their birth or their heritage or their background. So let's see what the first category we are going to read is going to be. So first category we have is going to be our trope category. So let's have a look and see what different tropes. So again, I tried to think of what I might have on my bookshelf and on my TBR, not on like our shared TBR. So we have got love triangle, which I think would probably be quite an easy one. Coming of age, which is one of my favorite kind of tropes. Sometimes I don't know if that's like a trope or just a genre or like a theme, but I guess they're kind of similar things, or like a motif. The hero's journey, found families, and who done it, which I wrote down and then they told me people don't write it like that because I literally wrote who done it. But yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of tropes slash genres, I guess. Not genres, slash themes slash motifs, however you want to think of it. So they're the 5. Let's see what we shall pick, which one will land on out of these 5. Oh, nice. So it's a who done it. And this actually is probably more of a category or genre or theme in books I don't actually tend to read as well. So I think that can be quite interesting because I don't read a lot of mystery or like detective-y books or crime, I guess. But one that I do read, if you watched my last video, you know I enjoy, is the Rivers of London series by Ben Aranovich. So I have got Broken Homes that could fit for this one. So I do have the book of Broken Homes, but as I said in my last video, I really enjoy listening to the audiobooks of this, and I've actually got the audiobook currently out on my borrow box, so it is the perfect time to read the book. I'm ready to carry on with the series. It's been a couple of months since I last listened to Whispers Underground, so I'm ready to sort of pick the series up. It's a detective crime urban fantasy, but it is all about like what's going on, so I think this would fit whodunit very well. Let's spin for what our next spinner wheel will be. So I've made so many spinner wheels with all the different themes that now I'm just losing my spinner wheels. It is the which wheel. Okay, let's go. We have country. So I went through my TBR and kind of looked at where different authors either were from or like born or had like descendants. So we have got Afghanistan, America, Germany, Nigeria, UK, China, Korea, Japan. And now we're going to spin and see which one we land on. I probably do read more American authors than others on this list. It would have maybe been nice to get others, but that's okay as well. And actually it probably works out okay because I do have my sibling book club at the end of the month that I need to read. So for that we are reading Divergent by Veronica Roth, who is an American author. So Divergent is a dystopian novel. It's a trilogy series and it is Nate's pick, and we all get one like series pick for the year. So this is his series pick. Not really a big dystopian person, to be honest. Again, it's not a genre I would lean towards. I'll give it a go. I'm happy to read it, and obviously I know there was the movie series. I've never watched them either. I don't really know anything apart from the fact that it's a dystopian novel, but I'm happy to give it a go and give it a read. So America works out because it means I can fit this book on my TBR because I need to read it this month anyway. But it would have been nice to have another author, and actually maybe that would just be something good to think of in the future, that if I do that, maybe don't include America and the UK, because then obviously I'd have a wider pool of books that I could read. For this month, we will go with Divergent. Here, we're going to grab the next category. Okay, Nate's pick, so I'm sure he's very happy about this one. Okay, so I asked Nate if he could pick me. How many books? I asked him if he could pick me 5 books that I could add to my will. He has picked Skander, City of Bones, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, Her Dark Wings, and All Dead Things Lie Down. Let's give this a spin and see which one of Nate's picks I will be reading. Skander! Oh, I'm really happy with that actually, because I've been wanting to read Skander for a while because our sister has read it as well and she's really enjoying it. And I know there's 3 books out now and the 4th one is due to come out. Is it the end of this year, I think? But let me grab it. Skander. So this is the first one in, just called the Skander series? The series, maybe? Yeah, let's call it, I think it was called the Skander series, but a new hero takes flight. Skander and the Unicorn Thief. So this is a not a young adult, I think it's more a middle grade novel series. First one in the series about a boy that goes to a school, and it's about like unicorns and fighting with unicorns, I think, or learning to ride them. To be honest, I don't actually know. Yeah, I think it would be nice. So I'm looking forward to reading it. It is a middle grade, so it shouldn't be too hard to read. It's fairly thick, but yeah, I think like the writing isn't like massively big. But it'll be nice to read it, because then when my brother and sister sit and talk about it, I can get involved because I've actually read it as well. So that is book number 3. Our fourth wheel we will be looking at is okay, it's the case, so the bookcase one. So like I said earlier, we have got 6 bookcases that I'm going to be reading from. So we will pick which bookcase and then which shelf in that bookcase. Okay, bookcase number 3 is this one. I will insert a little clip here. So is this bookcase here, and that has got a lot of our hardbacks on it, or like some nice hardbacks, like some with dust, what are they called? Sprayed edges, and it's got 6 shelves in total. So the shelf I will be picking from shelf number 6, that's the last one. Oh, let's go and have a look. I'm going to insert a clip here of me looking at the books and then which book I will choose. So I am going to go with the Contender, The Chosen. Or no, it's just Contender, The Chosen. So this is, it says, in a world far from our own, enemies come in many forms, the ultimate battle for survival is about to begin. It is I don't know what kind of genre it is. I'd say maybe middle grade or YA, based solely on like the cover and then the size of the writing. It's Nate's book, so I don't know how we got it. And to be honest, it's going to have dinosaurs. I know that because it says about it. Does it say about dinosaurs? Well, I mean, there are dinosaurs on the front cover, so I don't know why I'm looking. There are dinosaurs. And I have like a real irrational fear of dinosaurs. So, which I do try to challenge because it's irrational and they're not currently real. So like anyway, tangent, I would like try and watch the Jurassic Park movies because I'm like, they're not real. And as I've gotten older, obviously, I'm not as scared of them. But when I was younger, I was like super scared of them and I would never have read this. So I think that's a nice thing to read as like a bit of a challenge to myself. So this is book number 4. So we have got Contender. Right, let's pick our next category that we need to find. Nice, so we have got the seasonal category. So this is going to be a book that is kind of based around or set in a specific season. As we're moving into autumn, it might be quite nice to get an autumn read, or as we're leaving summer, it might be nice to have a little summery read. But I've never been a big seasonal reader. I kind of, have I? No, I don't think I have, in that I don't think I lean towards in like autumn, I only read autumny books. Except I will only read like winter books normally in winter, but like I'd read a summer book in winter. Maybe it's not winter books. I think maybe more specifically it's Christmas books. Let's have a look and see what we can get. So. Winter. Just as I said that as well. Okay, I'm gonna have a little look and see what kind of winter books we have. Winter was hard, actually. I don't think we have many winter based books, or not ones that seem obvious. Maybe without actually reading them would be quite hard to tell. One that does, and actually Nate's read this and he has told me it's not too Christmassy, despite the name, is Christmas at the Palace. You can see this is, I mean, it's a really lovely, gorgeous sort of wintry colour. It's got like glitter all over the castle, on the palace. So like winters galore. Obviously it's Christmas, and this would, for me, be way too early to read a Christmas book. I basically would just read Christmas books in December. But Nate has said that it's really not Christmassy because he actually put off reading it until Christmas time and then was like, Christmas lasts like 80 pages and it's like a 400-page book. I'll give it a go. He did enjoy it as well, actually. He said he would recommend it. So Christmas at the Palace says, snuggle up with this perfect Christmas romance as one ordinary girl learns what it means to love a prince. And I guess from that and Christmas at the Palace, you can get that it's going to be a royal kind of love story. So book number 5 out of 7, Christmas at the Palace.
So for this next spin, my camera died and I didn't quite realise. So I don't have a clip, but here is the spin.
And the colours I've chosen are kind of, yeah, the most generic colours I could think of. So we've got green, pink, yellow, red, white, orange, brown, purple, black, blue. Yeah, I think they're all the colours I've got there. So let's pick and grab which colour I have to choose a book for. So let's have a look. So I landed on green, as you can see. And for this book, I looked at my bookshelf and I found this book here called You Get That From Me by Charlotte Butterfield. So this book I got for my birthday, and it was like a blind date with a book that my mum got me. And it is Every Family Has a Story. So on the front it says 3 women, 3 choices. When all 3 women start writing down their stories for Stella's unborn child, long buried secrets begin to resurface. You can't choose your family, but maybe you can choose what you make of it. That is like literally just the end bit of the blurb, so I've missed out. But there's a section about 3 ladies, Stella, Bonnie and Florence. It's kind of a story that comes together for them and for them women. So I don't really know what it's about. And I've never heard or read anything by Charlotte Butterfield before, so it's a complete new author and a new book. But yeah, it's this like minty green colour, and it like stood out straight away on my shelf. So I think this is a good one to go for my colour read. So at this point, obviously there's only 2 categories left. We have got the page count and the untouched genre. So let's give this one a spin and see which one it will land on. So let's have a look at how many pages in the book I need to look at for. Oh, less than 150. Okay, so I have to find a book that's got less than 150 pages, which Nate tells me is really small. And I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be, but now I am thinking of it. Well, especially because when I picked this book, I was like, oh yeah, it's a little short read, and it's got like 400 pages. Was it this book I said? No, it wasn't. It was Christmas at the Palace. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a little short read. And he's like, it's got like 400 pages. And I was like, does it? So maybe it's my judgment. Like for me now, I was like, oh, that's what, 200 pages? So maybe it's me that doesn't know. I will go and find a book that has got less than 150 pages. Okay. This is what I found. So this is Happiness is an Art Form, which is a poetry book. And it has, so technically, it's got 158 pages. However, the last like 4 or 5 pages, well actually more than 4 or 5, are all this like extra pages for notes. So that's not really a page. So the final actual page with writing on it is the thank yous, which is page 147. So this, therefore, is under 150 pages because the other ones don't count. This is super cool to get on because it is actually one of my 6 books to destroy, or 6 books that will self-destruct if I don't read them. And I've not read any of them yet. So if I could read one, that would be really cool. I think I have actually, oh yeah, I've got a bookmark like put there. So I'm 25 pages in. I think it's like a 1/6 of the way through. I don't know what that is in percent, but it's about a 1/6 of the way through. That's small enough for me to pick this book, and actually it's probably one of the only books that would count. So this is the final book, Happiness is an Art Form, that I will be adding to my TBR this month. So let's have a quick recap. The first wheel was the trope wheel. I landed on whodunit, and I've chosen Broken Homes. The second wheel was country, where an author is from. It landed on America, and I have picked Divergent, which is super handy because it is my book club book for the month. The third wheel we landed on was Nate Picks, and out of the 5 books Nate picked, we landed on Skander. So that is a great one to read, and Nate will be happy that I have read this. Obviously, if I get around to reading it, which fingers crossed, I will. The fourth one we have landed on is the bookshelf, like random bookshelf picker. Bookshelf we picked was number 3, shelf number 6, and then I chose just Contender. I keep calling it the Contender, but Contender the Chosen. So I'm interested to see what this one will be like. I'll let you know. For roll number 5, I landed on Seasons, and the season that we landed on was winter, which means that Christmas at the Palace is my winter read and my super early potential Christmas read. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I'll give it a go. Christmas at the Palace. The penultimate wheel I landed on was the colour wheel, and the colour that it chose was green. So we are going with You Get That From Me, which is this lovely tealy green. Teal green, would you say? I don't know what I would say for that, but it's a nice green. I don't know if it comes off blue on the camera, but it's definitely green. And the final one, the final wheel was the page count wheel, and less than 150 pages, and I picked Happiness is an Art Form. So that wraps up picking my September TBR. I've got quite a lot to read there. You know, 7 books is the most I've read. So it's going to be a challenge. I'm not going to sit and pretend it's not. I'll probably do a little short to just like summarize how I got on from the TBR. But actually, I liked this way of doing it. I quite enjoyed it. I'll have a little think over the month and see what I think in terms of if it's my solution, if I think there might be something else I would prefer, a way of picking my TBR. But for this month, I feel quite happy and I'm excited to get reading. I hope that you've enjoyed coming on this journey. I've definitely enjoyed playing the spinning wheels and, you know, leaving it to chance for what I might get on my TBR. And I'm looking forward to start reading. So thank you so much if you have made it this far. Please, if you have, leave a comment and let me know like what your top pick of your TBR is this month, or if you've read any of the books on my TBR, let me know which one is your favourite and what you think. I'd love to know. So please do leave a comment, and thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'll see you very soon. Bye.